Proof is an award-winning play by David Auburn that is currently running at the Independent Media Center in Urbana. Here today from Twin City Theater Company to tell us about the show is cast member Rebecca Strom. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me today.
You're welcome. Well, tell me a little bit about the rehearsal process, the audition process. How does a play like this come to fruition?
Sure. So Twin City announced last year that they were going to be doing Proof this coming fall, and so, you know, it was a big lead up to auditions. We had auditions back in August, I believe, or September, which kind of involved some readings from the script. You know, you're paired up with different actors, and then, you know, you wait and see if you get a call. So it was a really nerve-wracking but really fun experience, very collaborative, a lot of fun. Yeah, so once you get the call, it's like, okay, now we start rehearsals. And so when we do rehearsals, you know, we start with blocking specific scenes, you know, figuring out how we're moving in the space, and then you go on to do that deeper character work and figuring out the relationships between the characters and how to tell this overarching story in a way that's meaningful. So it's been a really fun process. I've loved getting to work with the rest of the cast and the director and the production team. It's been really great.
And how long have you been rehearsing the show?
We have been rehearsing since the start of October, so a little over a month.
Okay, and have any of you worked together before? Is it a theater company that a lot of times it's the same people, or is it all new cast?
So actually, I've only worked with the director before. I've never worked with any of the other cast members before, which has been really cool to get to know some new people, as well as some of the other production team members. I've never worked with them, so it's been really great getting to know everybody. But I think, you know, as a company, you do see some people coming back and doing shows because, you know, it's a great experience and it's a local company, so you see a lot of familiar faces.
Very nice. And now this play takes me back to the acting school.
Yeah.
We did a whole unit on Proof, and I love this show. Tell us a little bit about the story.
Sure. So yeah, it's an award-winning script. It won the Pulitzer Prize and the Tony Award in 2001 when it premiered. It's about a woman named Catherine who is kind of struggling with the grief of the recent death of her father, who was a renowned mathematician. And she's kind of trying to figure out whether she's inherited his mathematical genius as well as his mental illness. And so she's really struggling with that. And then you've also got this character of Hal, who is one of Robert's former grad students, and he's coming in looking at all of Robert's papers, trying to figure out if there's anything he left behind. And then I play Catherine's sister Claire, who comes in from New York to try to convince Catherine to move back with her.
And let's talk about your character for a little bit, because I know she's the well-intentioned sister, but there's a lot of complicated layers. So sort of without giving too much away, what can you tell us about your character?
Yeah, I really did fall in love with Claire over the course of the rehearsal process. I think when you first look at the play, it kind of seems like she's, you know, kind of the rude older sister who, you know, has it all together and she's trying to like make everybody do everything. But I think if you really look at her character, she herself has struggled a lot, and, you know, is trying to repair, I think, in some ways her relationship with her sister, but also, you know, wants to have her own life and wants to kind of move on from things from the past. And so I see her as a very complicated character, and I don't know, that's what I'm trying to bring to it, is just kind of this empathy for someone who, you know, otherwise you might look at her and say, you know, she's just kind of, I don't know, the mean older sister in a sense. Yeah.
Right, and you bring a lot of humanity.
I try.
There you go, wonderful. Well, we do have a sneak preview coming up, and thank you very much for being here today to tell us all about it. And to purchase tickets or to learn more about Twin City Theater Company, you can visit their website, or you can head on over and visit ciLiving.tv.